Yo, what's up, guys? What's happening? It is your boy. Welcome to another reaction. Now, this one is by someone new, goes by the name of SSG Animations. I just found this channel last week and I emailed them for permission. I'll just put the conversation right here. I don't know how I came across it. I just probably all the horror animation that I watch, it just popped up. And based off his thumbnails, it's caught my attention because it looks pretty gruesome. So I figured I'd give these a try. Now, like I said, his thumbnails are gruesome, so I don't even know which ones to pick. So I just picked the one he just posted last week. Well, it says a week ago. This one's just titled Horror Story Animated. So I don't know what it's about. His channel and this video will be linked down below if you want to check it out for yourself. And without further ado, y'all ready? Let go.
I always thought there was something strange about Aiden Baxter, but I couldn't put my finger on what it was. He was an average-looking guy, slim, and perhaps a bit nerdy, with his thick-rimmed black spectacles, short black hair, and old-fashioned 60s style of dress. He reminded me of Clark Kent from Superman. He was friendly enough, but in a quiet way. Something in his eyes made me feel that he was withholding something. My name is Rowan Miles, and it was the 16th of July, 1989. Aiden and I worked together at a frozen storage warehouse in Houston, Texas, called Freeze Fresh, providing local butchers with pork and wild game meats. The animals were moved quickly and deep frozen 5 minutes after shaving off their coats. There was a total of 200 employees, including forklift drivers working shifts. Fresh Freeze had a strange logo. It was the face of a man smiling, pointing to a pig with its legs spanned out lying flat.
Damn.
I found it creepy. Perhaps it was a telling sign of things to come. The company had a total of 16 freezing booths, massive at 40 square feet each. All were kept at a temperature of minus 22 degrees. Aiden always seemed drawn to booth number 13, situated around a corner in the factory where whole pigs were kept. No one spent much time in the freezers. You got the animals in and got out. Man, those booths were cold. Aiden was different. He didn't seem to mind the cold temperatures, and often spent up to 10 minutes inside booth 13. It was weird, and he liked working night shift. No, he loved working night shift, when it was nice and quiet, as he put it. 4 young people, all in their early 20s, had been reported missing in Houston in the last week. 2 females and 2 males. It was unsettling for the community, and the parents were beside themselves. One mother had died of a heart attack on hearing the news of her missing daughter, Anya. Real sad news about those missing people, said Aiden one day, looking really concerned. Real sad, Rowan, he added as he shook his head. It was very sad, but factory life was going on. What I didn't know at the time was that Aiden had been their abductor. In fact, there was a whole lot I didn't know about Aiden. He told me he majored in biology at Texas University.
I had a feeling this was gonna be sus. He don't look too concerned about the missing people.
That he'd always wanted to become a surgeon. There was no doubt in my mind that he was intelligent, but I was to find out that he used that intelligence to do horrific things. I walked into booth 13 one day to discover that he was performing surgery on a pig corpse with some sort of laser. I was shocked. Aiden, I said loudly, shocked by what I saw. What are you doing, Aiden? I asked firmly. He looked up at me quite calmly and answered, just messing about, Rowan. He smiled as he added, the pig's dead anyway. I just find its biological makeup so intriguing. But Aiden, I began. They say a pig is the closest thing to a human being, Rowan. Did you know that? He asked.
No.
Yeah, I knew that, but I was deeply shocked by what I saw. Why I never told anyone, I'll never know. Let's get out of here, I said firmly. Cold? Aiden asked as he shut the booth doors with his remote. Then he smiled at me, and I saw those eyes I mentioned, glimmering and strange looking. One night shift, my close friend Otto Kraft had seen Aiden driving a forklift with a closed wooden crate on it into the warehouse.
Why do I have a feeling those are gonna be bodies? Or the people that are missing?
He didn't think anything of it, as Aiden often moved things around with the forklift. What Otto didn't know was that the bodies of the 4 missing young people were inside that crate.
Told you.
Aiden headed for freezer booth 13. opened the huge electronic door with his remote, and moved the crate right to the back of the booth. He removed the 4 bodies and placed them neatly next to each other on the floor, all lying flat and straight. Then he reversed the forklift out of the booth with the empty crate. But as he did so, Otto was standing behind him. Otto couldn't see the 4 bodies as the forklift and empty crate obscured his view, but Aiden didn't know that. "Nice and quiet tonight," Aiden said as he dismounted the forklift. "Yeah, it is, except for the forklift noise," Otto answered. He was accustomed to Aiden's nice and quiet line. Before he had time to think, Aiden had pulled out a sharp switchblade, moved behind him, and slit his throat with such great force that he had sliced through both jugular veins. Blood pumped all over the place, and Otto dropped like a rag doll.
That's crazy.
Afraid of being seen again, or so he had thought, Aiden reopened the booth and dragged Otto's bloody corpse inside. The next day, I was surprised to find that Otto was not at work, as he never missed a day. He was a 40-year-old bachelor, so nobody at home missed him. I saw Aiden walking around as neat as he always was, but he walked past me without saying a word and headed for booth 13. Out of curiosity, I followed him. There was blood all over the floor outside the freezing compartment, and thick lines of blood led to the door of the booth. "God, Aiden, what happened here?" I asked him in shock. "Damn crates ain't built like they used to be," he exclaimed. "The sides gave way last night, and 8 pigs went flying," he said sharply. "But Aiden, why all the blood?" I asked, shocked. As I mentioned, the animals were always in whole form. "You try moving 8 pigs around on your own, Rowan," he shouted. "I had to cut them all in half to move them," he added, looking angry. "But Aiden, you can't just..." I began as he cut me off. "I know, Rowan. It's against company policy. I've already reported it to the manager, and he's gonna dock my pay. Damn," he said, then grabbed a mop to begin cleaning up the blood. Otto's blood. Strange as it may sound, I believed him, and never asked Matt Coulson, our manager, about the incident. The next night on shift, Aiden went directly to freezer booth 13, dragged Otto's body, frozen in a contorted position, all of 35 feet to the back of the freezer where the other 4 bodies lay. He shut himself inside the booth with his remote control. He had adorned himself with a special suit designed to protect for a lengthy period from the freezing conditions, and had a...
My question is, how come nobody ever went back there to check it out? I mean, of course they didn't know, but they didn't think, let's inspect this booth, or they don't inspect the booths. I forgot how many booths he said there were, but they don't inspect it to see if, like, I don't know, anything sus. I mean, I don't want to say he got away with it, but we'll see at the end.
Oxygen cylinder and mask on. One large pouch in the suit held a powerful, advanced surgical battery-powered laser cutter, and another large pouch, various surgical tools and stitching equipment, together with meat wrapping plastic. Aiden calculatingly and with great precision moved over to Ania, the girl whose mother had died of heart failure, and, taking out his precious laser cutter, and with a steady hand, just like that of a skilled surgeon, removed her heart and other meat from her body, peeling the skin off. He did the same thing to the other female, 2 males, and Otto. In the freezing conditions, there was no blood flow. His plan was the sickest I've heard of. He cut open 4 pigs and placed their organs and some of their flesh with large portions of the human flesh from the bodies. He did it so precisely that no butcher would have known. He had mated the pieces together with his portable laser. Otto was treated differently. He cut him up and prepared the flesh pieces into various cuts and sections for roasting. The resemblance to the meat cuts of a pig was uncanny and sick.
Damn.
Aiden had an arrangement with our manager to sell a certain number of pigs a month privately to friends and family. His horrifying plan came together as he loaded the 4 pigs with human flesh and organs inside them into a crate, together with the packed and bagged meat and flesh of Otto. He decided that he would clean up the leftover limbs and torsos of the 5 bodies in the morning. Aiden delivered the 4 whole pigs to the 4 farming friends on his Chevy truck. Otto's wrapped meat cuts were delivered to a close friend of his, a Mrs. Adelaide Ross, who had taken to his charm and kindness.
Why?
He never asked for money from any of these people. 3 days later, Adelaide had prepared a big luncheon for friends and family, and everyone had commented on just how delicious the pork was. Little did they realize they were consuming the human flesh of Otto Kraft. No one at Freeze Fresh knew that our manager had special security cameras installed in each booth to keep an eye on stocks and staff activities. All of Aiden's escapades were caught on camera. Matt Thornton threw up when he looked at the recording. He went through the recordings weekly. The police were called in, and even the most hardened officers were traumatized to see the inhumane, grotesque activities of Aiden Baxter. He was arrested without questioning, as the evidence was clear, sentenced to death for his crimes. 3 months later, he would be put to death in an electric chair. Freeze Fresh was permanently shut down for 2 months following the incident. The logo was changed and work resumed. But when the public heard of the Aiden Baxter case, nobody purchased from Freeze Fresh any longer.
Ow.
The company went bankrupt and turned into a dilapidated, eerie-looking building. To this day, some people swear they can hear screams emanating from the old building. And Adelaide Ross, to this day, doesn't eat pork anymore.
Yo, that story was good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I could see why they went bankrupt. I could see why people wouldn't buy from it anymore. I'm pretty sure it's fake, but it's still pretty good. I will do more from him. Like I said, there's a couple of them right here that I already want to check out, but I'll wait. It's an interesting story. Anyways, I got nothing else to say. But yeah, anyways, this one is from SSG Animation. The link to this video and his channel will be linked down below if you want to check it out for yourself. And let me know what you think or what you thought of this video. This one was different, honestly, because all the animation, horror animations that I see or watch, they're not really much about killing. They're most just like stalkers, people getting chased, you know, shit like that, but nothing about killing. I like them. I like that the style of animation too. It's a little bit different than the other ones. Anyways, if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.